Okay. Okay.
Hi.
It's going down. I know it looks a little bit different. I know it looks a little bit different. People are wondering what is going on.
What's the blood clot? I'm sorry.
What's the blood clot? What is going on? Welcome
Right.
to another edition of Conversating, Conversing,
Conversating.
Relating. I am your host, one and a half of the host, Coach Jay Hughes. I have my lovely partner tuned in live.
Hey,
What's your host name, honey?
it's April Autumn. Hey
Okay,
now.
all right. Just making sure you introduce yourself. People got to get used to. They don't know what's going on right now. We're gonna leave them in the dark for a minute.
Really?
Uh, we're gonna leave them in the dark for a minute because normally they see you right next beside me, and right now they don't know what's going on. So we're gonna leave them in the dark for a minute. We're gonna start with how
Okay.
we normally do, which is how was your week?
Well, this week was really interesting, being in North Carolina, seeing folks. Shout out to Pam. Shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to, oh my God, Takani. Takani.
Takane.
Uh, You
Takanaka.
know what? She was like, exactly. She was like, did he mess up my name?
I
Banaka.
always do.
You always do. But
I
yeah,
always
shout
do
out
on
to the
purpose
North
too.
Carolina. You do. Shout out to the
Yeah.
North Carolina fam. It's good to see you all in person and, have some time to just say, hey, oh, shout out to V. Mm, look at that. Look, mm, mm,
Okay.
the
Got the nail.
nails. Yes, V
Quite
did.
nice.
She always does me right. So I miss her so much when I'm in Texas, but you know, when we're here, I have to see her. So not just for the nails, but she's my girl. So I appreciate that. Shout out to Queen. Hey Queen, what's good? I hope you're doing well. She wasn't able to come through, but she had some things going on with family. But she
Right.
definitely asked about you. And she did. And she was like, yeah, I hope y'all are well. So, yeah. Yeah. How about you,
Yeah.
babe? How was your week?
Uh, it was interesting, especially last night.
About last night.
Yeah, it was interesting, especially last night. But no, it was trying. I had a good revelation on Monday about some things, and you and I talked about it. That revelation had to deal with past dealings and having an understanding about uh, panic attacks. I suffer from panic attacks. Did not know what I know now about why I suffer from panic attacks. I'm gonna keep that close to the chest, but I had a good revelation on Monday. Work was good Tuesday, Wednesday. Uh, I took a little time off. I think Wednesday, went back Thursday, and so it's been pretty good. School is pretty good, even though I'm gonna punch the teacher in the face if I could see her. It's online, but it's pretty good so far.
We're
You
not
know,
going to do that. We're not going to do
trying to
that.
maintain that 4.0 average. They want to keep a brother down, so
You got
But
this.
anyway, it was good. Then last night was crazy. Had an episode last night and uh, paid a dear price for it, but everything came out all right for the most part. And we're here to do the show today in this fashion. In this fashion. So uh, you're normally here and you're not here. You're in where?
North Kakalaki, come on and raise up. I'm in North Carolina.
Okay.
Big Pablo.
Okay. Yeah. Old stopper grounds for you. You used to work at the
J. Cole.
University of, huh?
Sorry. I said J.
J. Cole.
Cole. I forgot.
Yeah, yeah. Used to work at the University of Duke, getting it out at Duke University. What'd you
Mhm.
do there? For those who don't know.
So I was a therapist as well as the person who talked to first year well, all students about sexual violence and domestic violence. Um, just providing some education around sex, about prevention of sexual violence as well as domestic violence. So yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
out there saving souls at Duke. while
So
beefing with
yeah,
North Carolina. Was it NC State? Was you beefing with down the road?
no.
Hills, who's that?
University, there you go. The University of North
Okay.
Carolina.
It's crazy because when you brought me there and you were like, University of North Carolina, UNC is literally on the other side of the bridge. And I'm like, whose idea was this to have two rival schools, such huge impact next to each other? That was crazy.
I think it just developed that way. I don't
Is it
know if
developed
it
that
was
way?
always like that, but I don't know the history of that. But yeah, so
Yeah.
it's always, for me, it's always fun and games. And, people um, have they call it Duke, like DOOK, like people
Yeah.
at Duke are dumb. And Duke is
Yeah.
known for it being a private, prestigious university, where UNC is a public institution. However, it has notoriety. So yeah.
Yeah. MJ.
Yeah. Well,
MJ.
not only that way, but also for its educational prowess for their students. So yeah. Shout out to Duke
Yeah.
students, shout out to UNC students, shout out to NC State. Go Pack. Go Pack. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I graduated from
I ain't mad
North
about
Carolina
that.
State. So yeah.
I ain't mad about that. So today's show is a little bit different. We are in the hot seat for you guys. Okay. And so people have asked us, actually, the Dallas Hugheses have told us off camera that we don't give the people the authentic us. Is that what they said? Remember that conversation?
They said they did say something like that. It was more of, there's some hood
Yeah.
that we don't let people see. And I'm like, really? So like, yeah, when you're on camera, you're like very educated and all of those things. And while I am those things, I'm definitely not gonna say I'm hood, but I can, I have
You
some
got some country in you.
There it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we were talking.
You got some country in you. I got a lot of Negro in me. That's why I say the things I say. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna let that all hang out today because we got questions that we came up with that have to deal with us. However, we want to take questions from the audience about us. If you have questions about our relationship, about our practice, how do we meet, or anything in the realm of the questions that we ask each other today. Yeah, we're going to answer those questions today for you guys. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. YouTube, we're getting our followers up. We're at 138, 139 now. Definitely want to make it to 500 so we can start monetizing. So definitely do that for us. And these questions you can ask your spouse, your potential date, or your husband, whoever you're dealing with, your partner. And we want to make sure you enjoy this session. This is gonna be laid back and relaxed. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna try to have some fun today. All right. Angel says, "Hello, everybody.
What's happening? Good to see you.
I think you two are real and authentic. I think we are too. But they want us. The North Hugheses want us to be a little bit more saucy with it. Want a little bit more sauce, a little sauce on that thing. Okay. So we're gonna do it. Let's get to it. Okay. Let me share this screen. Okay. And again, this is something that we're gonna ask questions and we're gonna answer them honestly. And we're gonna have a good conversation in between. Yep. So let's jump right into it. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So what attributes are important to you when considering being in a relationship with somebody?
Who's going first?
Okay. I guess you are. She gotta have drive. She has to have goals, ambitions. I have to be able to learn from her. She has to be confident in who she is. And she has to provide a way or provide some type of idea of where I can fit into her life and complement her life. But she's just got to be, driven, focused, have goals, have the motherly qualities and the nurturing qualities, but still have the business mindsets or the goal mindsets to, get the bag, go to college, get a trade, wherever the case may be. Just have goals. And so, yeah, kind, open, honest, able to keep her voice in the relationship, things like that. Those are some good attributes that I like to have when considering being with somebody. Making sure that I can come to you. If I feel like I can't come to you with an issue or problem and we can't talk about it, then for me, I ain't trying to, you out the window for that one. Because that means I can't come to you later on in any shape, form, or fashion. So, and then battle tested, what I mean by that is some people, they get one situation and then they're out. They get one, oh my God, we had this kind of argument. Oh my God, we had this kind of situation, and then they're out. Now, depending on the situation, yeah. But, for the most part, I like to be battle tested, to see if we're compatible to do this for the long haul, and if this works for the long haul. So that's just my take. What about your take? What are some of the attributes you like?
So kindness goes a long way, but also, it's not just kind, it's being the safety, and being peaceful. Like some people are they always looking for a fight for something. And
Right.
To me, that's a red flag, just
Right.
me. And so I need peace in that. And so I also need for him to have his own thing going. It doesn't have to necessarily be like you need to be making X amount of money, because that's not it. But you need to have some hustle about you. Like you need to be looking forward and making sure that you are putting things together for not just today, but down the road, and how you can see a future and goals and objectives. And that lets me know that then if and when we get together, I'm talking like we're not together, that we can do things together. When we were together, one thing that's really important to me is the person be a conversationalist. They can talk and they're not afraid to talk. And I don't mean just about, hey, how are you? Fine. How are you? Fine. And that's it. But go in different directions and not be afraid to dig deep about your thoughts, emotions, and have challenging conversation where we might not agree on things, but at least we're conversing about it and we can see each other's perspective. That's really important. Even though we might not agree, we can agree to disagree, but we see each other's perspective. Like we might not like the perspective, but we can, okay, I can see that, but I still don't agree and still move forward.
The conversation part was definitely, I again, the talking, being able to come talk to you, being able to have a conversation about random stuff. I think that's what got me when it came to you. I think for us, it was a battle of the minds since we first met.
Yeah.
And so with that battle that came out, a lot of stuff came about. And if the conversation's good, then, you want to see what else is good. That's what I want. I want to see what else is good.
Okay. Then.
I want to see what else is good. Angel says, no insecurity, patience, supportive, understanding, and nice. Okay. All right. She also continues by saying, not messy or be dramatic about foolishness. All right.
That drama thing, that's huge. That drama thing is huge because nobody wants that. Some people think
drama is needed in a relationship. I don't agree with that.
No. I think things will come up organically that will challenge this relationship. So you don't have to add any of that. I think you need to have a game plan about how you're going to handle things as they come up. But nobody needs let me find some drama. It's gonna find you.
It's 2:00. I ain't argued with this nigga yet this week. Let me go and argue with him this week.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Ash says honesty, loyalty, genuine, and has a true and consistent relationship with God. That's what's up. Shout out to Ash. That's the homie from way back when. Glad you're tuning in. But she's right. That's something. A consistent relationship with God is definitely something if you're faith-based driven.
Yes.
And so that's definitely important.
You know, the other one that was really important with us, and we said a lot of transparency. Like the way I said it was all cards up and something like that. But yours, what did you say?
I don't even know. I don't remember.
You can't beat me with the truth or something like that.
Oh, yeah. You can't beat me with the truth because I'm always going to give you the truth regardless.
Right. Yeah. And so there was transparency. It was always, you know what incident I'm talking about. If somebody asks, we'll tell it. But like, what you were like, hey, let me tell you this before it get out of hand, you know.
No, you got to tell that story because that's a good transparency story. They don't know this is about us, so we gotta tell them about us and how this came about. So you got to tell them that transparency story since we're talking about attributes that we looked for when we were dating each other.
So we met on Facebook dating, and what? See, you told me to tell the story. Hold on. See, that's why I was like, if somebody asks, then you go be like, ooh. So we met on Facebook dating, and when we met each other in person, like we had a series of dates. I'll just say that. And one of the dates we went to see my family. And my family assumed that we had been together a long time. Years. This was probably like in person day 2, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, and so
it was day 2. We went to see your family,
and so
so
it was like Labor Day, and
Labor Day.
Yeah, and my family was like, "Hey, it's good to see you, hug, everything." And he was like, "Yeah, I want some tacos." And they were like, "Come on in the kitchen." And this Negro is in the kitchen making tacos. And so I'm introducing him to my girl cousins. Shout out to all my girl cousins I love very much. And I have some absolutely gorgeous girl cousins, absolutely gorgeous. And one of my girl cousins comes in, and Jamon looks at her and looks at me, and he was like, hold on just a second. I need to talk to you for a second. And I was like, oh, okay. And so we walk outside, and he was like, okay, so we matched on Facebook dating. We didn't go out, we didn't meet, we didn't do anything like that, but we matched. I just want you to know that we matched. And I was like, okay, thank you for telling me. Now, some people might not have thought that was a big deal. I thought that was so transparent and so honest. And that's how we had been since we started talking with each other. So he just continued it. And it's been like that. Like, yeah, I just really appreciated that. And you know, that just shows your character.
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm talking with 6-footer and a couple other ones, and I'm cutting up the meat. Uncle Oscar bought me off the grill, and then your cousin comes in, and I'm cutting, and I look up, and I'm like, "You look familiar." And I thought about it. I was like, "Oh snap! I know exactly where I know you from." And I put that knife down. I was like, "Let me holler at you for a minute. Let's step outside." Because I didn't want, I told you about that incident where I was on Facebook dating and I met this chick, and then I go away to go see my mom in Mississippi. And then I come back and she confronts me because she thinks I'm trying to talk to her cousin. And I'm like, how did I know that was your cousin? It's a whole situation. So because of that situation, I was like, when I saw your cousin, I was like, yeah, we ain't doing this shit again. So let me holler at you for a minute.
Universe.
Take you outside. Let me talk to you for a second. So yeah, I wanted to be honest and transparent. And I told you, I said, hey, we matched, but we never talked. And I'm glad I didn't because she kind of out there, so it's all good. It's
You
just
didn't have to
crazy
say
that
all of that. You didn't
it's
have to
crazy.
say all of that.
I'm gonna say it. We gonna let it loose today. It was
Okay.
kind of crazy that she's your cousin, that I matched with her, but small world kind of
It
thing.
is.
So yeah, I kept it transparent. I always want to keep it transparent, and I didn't want to get boxed in with a possible situation that could blow up. So that's what that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angel says she tried Facebook dating and didn't go well. Never again. I don't think I'll try online dating again. I guess.
Whenever I hear people say that, I'm like, what were you putting out? You put out what you put out, you get.
Right.
What's the saying that you say, babe? You're perfectly aligned.
You're perfectly aligned for the results that you get.
Yeah.
So if you put out something, you're perfectly aligned with the results that you got because that's what you put out in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a medium to meet people. That's it. It's a medium to meet people. And so just like you can meet crappy people in person, you can meet crappy people online. I will say that some people, not all people, some people hide behind a persona. Yes.
Right.
And so this is why you have to ask questions. You have to dig deep. And again, I say this all the time, when you know yourself, you're more protective of yourself and you won't allow yourself to fall for the okie doke. One of the things that I say a lot in process with folks, when you start doing stuff like, well, I think maybe I'm being, no, you know that whatever's happening doesn't feel right in your spirit. Yes, I said it, babe.
In your spirit.
In spirit. So don't do it. But we haven't been trained to listen to ourselves. So we just go ahead and keep going. And it has to be something on fire for us to be like, oh, dang, I shouldn't have did that. Yeah, your spirit told you months ago, but you kept going. So
yeah. Even when it's on fire, some people be like, I'm okay. I'm not burning,
Oh, well, maybe it's just, the temperature is just going up. No, you on fire. You on fire.
Yeah. Says Facebook dating hasn't yielded anything for me either. At least someone has benefited from it, though. Okay, I appreciate that, fam.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right.
I have a whole thought process about that. So, but that's okay.
What's the thought process?
Because when we met, I wasn't looking in the area where I stayed, where I lived. I wasn't and I was, folks who know me, I was like, this is all recycled.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody.
And well, Houston's big enough, so I don't even know how you even came across my page. I guess
I do. I know exactly.
Okay, how'd you come across?
I put Houston. I knew where I want. Yes, I knew exactly what I was like. Okay, in my life, I know where I'm willing to date, and I fly at that point in my life. I was flying some everywhere and doing whatever I wanted to do, and so I was like, if I'm interested in a relationship, a meaningful relationship, I can look outside of this area. I'm not afraid of that. So I widened my perspective. I widened my range. So
right. We tell our clients to date outside of your range too. I mean,
not
Facebook
only your
dating
range, but your thought process too. Remember that again, there's a whole thought process behind that. But that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. Lamont says the mate love of God is a major turn on for me. That's what's up. That is what's up.
Love of God.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's definitely a big plus. All right. What's the next question?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next question is, what sets our relationship apart from your previous ones?
Am I going first this time?
I went first last time.
I think the safety aspect is really huge for me. I always say that. You provide a different kind of safety for me. Even when we were just talking and we were friends, like there's always been a sense of safety with you. Again, having conversations that were really deep, and whether it was about religion, different books, different places and things, I was never in fear of, you know, not being able to be me. Like whoever I came to you with, it was like, oh, okay, this is you, right? And it wasn't ever like, oh, you need to change that. Remember, I told you I have a horror story like that, where
Yeah.
this guy that I met online dating, I won't lie. I do a lot of public speaking about domestic violence, sexual violence, and I share my story or whatever. And we went to dinner. This was I think it was the first meetup. It was dinner. We met, and he was saying, what if I decide to date you? Not even like we're dating. If I decide like after this that we're dating, you're gonna have to stop talking about all of that stuff because that's too much. I said, what do you mean? My career?
Right.
He was like, yeah, all that sexual violence and domestic violence talk that you're doing, you're gonna have to shut all of that down. And I
you
was
gotta
like,
stop being successful out here and talking and helping people. You can't be doing that out here. Being
so
all successful and talking.
Right. I was like, oh, okay. And my food came and I'm eating. And he was like, so we good? Like you gonna stop doing that? I said, oh no, that was never my intention to stop. I mean, I'm gonna eat my dinner and then I'm gonna say goodbye to you because it's a wrap. Because I'm gonna be me. You can't tell me I can't have my career, my goals. Sir. Sir. I bid you adieu. I say good day. Good day. Good sir. And then years later, he saw me out because it's so small here. And he tried again. He was like, I was wrong and blah, 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 blah. I was like, you were wrong and no thank you still. So just being safe and being who I am, because somebody else, and I will say me, at an earlier time in my life would have been like, well, baby, no, ma'am. You have to be you. So yeah.
I think what sets our relationship apart for us, in my opinion, is the fact of how we communicate.
Okay.
Our communication has just been so superior to any one of my relationships that I've had. But that's only because I've grown myself and I found somebody to match the energy in which I did grow. So now I'm able to communicate more effectively. And I found a person who can fit that rhythm of bouncing back the communication back and forth. And it always felt like the communication was needed. Like there'd be times you'd want me to talk and I'd be resistant. Remember that in our first couple months of dating, you'd be like, you can talk about it, and I'm like, yeah I want to talk about it.
Well, if it wasn't like warm and fuzzy or something easy, like, because we talked about everything from day one.
Yeah.
But if it was something a little more challenging and it went to that like whole man box thing where you can't be emotional, you can't have feelings, all of those things, you're like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, we can't.
Right.
We're here. Why don't we just do it? Like, let's talk.
You had to let me know, like, hey, it's okay for you to talk. It's okay if you do this. It's okay if you do that. I think I was in a different space, though, at that time as well.
Yeah.
So, but the communication between us was so vital to the point it just drew me in. That was almost 50% of what drew me to just be like, okay, this is what I'm going to pursue. And then you made it safe. You made everything safe for the communication to happen. And I think a lot of women don't understand what that means. What that means for men is that no matter what we come to you with, it's not weaponized against us in any shape, form, or fashion. And so for you, when I met you, I realized not too far down into our dating that you made it safe for the communication process to happen, and you never weaponized anything against me, even when we had the difficult conversations. Even you would say, because I'd be hard on myself, right? And you would say, stop beating up on my man. Yeah. I was like, who are you you talking about? He's like, you. And
You
I'm like,
crazy.
yeah, that's right. Because we are. Okay, yeah, that's right. So, but that style of communication and being able to communicate and having the safe space to communicate, knowing that it's not going to be ever weaponized against me, just made it safe. So that's what sets our relationship apart from the previous relationships that I've been in. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I like that.
I appreciate you seeing that. And I appreciate that we co-create that together.
Ash says most people on dating services hide behind the persona and have motives different from how they present themselves, which is why transparency is so important. That is true. That is true. She cooking today. She is just cooking.
In the
Somebody
kitchen.
somebody just get an apron. Aggravated man said it was God's plan for y'all. Okay, Drake, I appreciate that. I love that. Man says Sierra.
Hey,
Communication
Sierra.
is even difficult levels. Yeah, difficult levels. And that's the thing. Like people, we had communication on the level that was so difficult starting off that it was like a battle and a meeting of the minds, but it wasn't a battle like I'm battling against you. What it was it was a challenging of perception and an understanding of point of view. When we first met, actually our first conversation was that. If y'all don't know, my wife has a TED Talk. She's very modest. She don't want to say it, but she has a TED Talk, right? And TED Talks, if you know anything about TED Talks, they're pretty hard to come by. You know, you got to present some facts and some things. And she has a TED Talk. And so when I met her, she showed me her TED Talk. And it was about what, honey?
You don't remember?
No, I do. It was about sexual violence against women in different various aspects, from the workplace to the home to relationships and so forth. And then she told her story. And I was very thoroughly pleased with the TED Talk. But one thing that got me at that time was, what about the niggas? What about the brothers? And so
I said a line about men. I did.
Yeah, you said one line. And I was like, you don't talk about men. What about the men? But we had that conversation. And then instead of it being a battle, it was a conversation of the minds. And it made it safe for that. I think we stayed on the phone for like 6 hours, 5 hours.
No, 12.
What was it?
12.
Yeah, we stayed on the phone a long time. We didn't get off the phone knowing we had to go to work in the morning. We did not get off the phone. But yeah, that's what it was. We strive to love each other to a higher standard each day. At our age, we have to learn to miss each other with the past follies of past relationships. We are keeping it in the boyfriend-girlfriend zone. Okay, that's definitely what works. That's definitely something that works. Okay. Got a question. So is it better to find your special person online or in person? You got to do what works for you, in my opinion. I mean, I'm an online guy, but I don't mind meeting people in person. And like my wife said, you meet people that are terrible in person and online. They both have hidden agendas. You just have to use your discernment, and you have to use good judgment, and you have to ask the tough questions and be willing to accept the answers that you get and say, this answer says that you're not going to be for me. This answer seems a little bit suspicious or a little bit suspect. Let me dive a little bit deeper. Right. And so what I've learned to do before I met my wife is ask the tough questions. You know, we're out here in Houston, they would tell me, oh, I'm dating with a purpose. And I'd be like, bitch, me too. What's up? And it's one of those things where you got to come at them with the energy of, hey, I'm just as serious as you are. You know, so meeting a person online versus, you know, in person, it's whatever floats your boat. I suggest a little bit of both. You know, a good mix of both will, I guess, heighten your chances. I don't know. What do you think, honey?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. Number one, you have to do some work on you first before you even think about dating. Date you. You got to date you. You know, I'm going to start there. And when you feel good about you, then you can think about dating other people, because when you are dating other people and you're not liking or loving you, it's easy to put them in front of you and try to meet all their needs and conform to what they want you to be instead of being who you are. And so I believe you can do both. You can date in person, you can date online, You can, yeah, all of those things. I think, again, people in person also have hidden agendas. You just have
Right.
to, like, as you said, babe, you got to ask the deep questions. You have
You got to
to
ask those tough questions.
talk. And I'm sorry, I don't like it when people say I'm dating with a purpose. I'm like,
Listen, I've
because I
heard that
don't
so
think
many
we know how to
times.
date. That's another thing. I don't think we know how to date. And I think when I met you, I was dating. Like I was dating.
Right,
Like I had a couple
right.
of
We
people
both
I
were.
was dating.
She says, I'm broke. I can't date me. Yes, you can.
Oh
Date
my
you.
gosh. You, oh, ooh. What
Date
does
you.
that
Girl, you
mean?
got it.
Because you can date you. You can take you on a picnic, and you
Yeah.
don't
Take
need
yourself
nothing
out
but
bowling.
what's right. You can do a
Take
lot of things.
yourself to
You can have
vacations.
yourself a movie night at home. I think, and that's when we have that mind of we got to have money to do things. There's lots of things that you can do for you.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
take any money, but again, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother
Yeah.
day.
Dating
Whoo!
yourself can be free activities. That is correct, Sierra. Dating yourself can be free activities. There's a lot of stuff you can do dating yourself. Dating yourself is really just getting to know yourself and reevaluating who you are, redefining some of the things that you realized didn't work in your last relationship, and then working on that so when you do come across another relationship, you're able to better deal with those situations. So dating yourself is very important. You got to learn yourself. If I say it all the time, if you don't love you and you don't think you fly and you don't think you look good, stop expecting other people to think that they love you and you look good and you fly because you don't even believe it. You have to
Right.
believe it for yourself. You have to
And
love yourself.
right. And that tells me there are some unhealed places in your life, not just from that person. That person probably showed up, but then triggered something from way back there. So the stuff that's way back there, those are the things that need to be healed.
Right, right. Sarah says, for me, I have been trying to make sourdough bread and other things from scratch. That's a good activity, learning how to date yourself. That's a good
Yeah.
activity. Very good activity. Again, dating yourself is important before you date anybody else, especially if you're just getting out of a relationship or you haven't healed from your past relationship. Dating yourself and just being involved in you and getting back to you. Some of you guys don't even know what you like to do. Like, when's the last time you went, like I said, bowling or skating or doing something that you used to love to do before you got in the relationship that you got in to where you lost yourself? Right? A lot
Like
of us have lost ourselves.
right. Like today, I went to Lake Johnson, and I love that place. That was like
Yes, you
my
do.
refuge, and I did 4 miles today, run walk. It was amazing. It was amazing. And so getting back to that part of like what it is that makes your heart sing. I like getting
Yeah.
lost in the woods. Where I know that I can come out
Oh my
on.
God. Did you say
I gotta
lost in
I
the
gotta come out
woods?
on no. I gotta come out on the other side though. I knew where I was going.
Hmm. All
So
right.
yeah,
All right. Next question. What's our greatest strength as a couple? Oh.
this is
Oh.
you go first.
Oh.
This
You okay, it's my turn now. I'm gonna ask the people in the crowd. What do you think our greatest strength as a couple is? Again, these questions are questions that we're asking ourselves in front of you guys, and we're telling our story, and we're being transparent and vulnerable. But what do you guys think? What do you think our greatest strength as a couple is? Okay. While I'm waiting on them to answer, I would say our feng shui of the overall relationship. Like we have a real good like if people don't know what feng shui means, we have a real good chemistry and mix overall in our relationship. We laugh, we joke, we work well together. We've made money together. We've built businesses together, but at the same time, on a personal side, we talk all the time about everything across the board, and it's a good feng shui. There's jokes in between. We can be ourselves. There's stuff that we do that aggravates the hell out of us, and there's stuff that we do that we just love. So
You should have put that question in there talking about, and there's nothing that you do yes, it is. Don't lie.
I told you, like, you remember we were in the car and you was like, what do I do that aggravates you? And I was like, I don't think you aggravate me, but something just irks my nerve. And I was like, but before I say it, I wanted you to go first because I didn't know if I was in the right ballpark.
Right. It just is. It just is. I'll say what I think our strength is, and then you can say that crazy story because that was funny to me.
That was funny.
I think it's energy too. Like our energy together is just on another level. I think that's what makes us different too. Like I thought it was really hilarious that when my family met you, like we were on our second date. Actually, we were on our first date. That was our first date.
That was our first date?
That was our first date.
I thought it was the second. Okay. I thought it was the second. But it could have been the first.
I think it was our first activity that we did something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was our first major activity. Yeah.
And so they were like, oh yeah, y'all been together, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no. We on a date. It's cool.
Yeah.
But it was just so easy. Like everything just came and it just flowed. It was kind of scary how easy it flowed. Which is typically a red flag for me. Like I'm like, You've been stalking me? No, because sometimes when someone feels so familiar, it's like, okay, are you triggering some traumas that I have? And I had to check. Yeah, that familiar thing. Like, but it was like we were just bouncing off of each other. Like it was just so cool. And so that energy has continued, even in some of the difficult times. It has continued.
Oh my God. The difficult times. Lord have people think that just because we have the energy and the great feng shui of balance each other out, like Miss Ash just said, that we don't have any real difficult times.
The North Hughes is no different.
Yeah, the North Hughes is definitely no different. All right, Sierra says non-judgmental curiosity into what each other is at the atom by atom level. Yes, that's very accurate. That's very accurate. Non-judgmental. You learned that, CC.
She did. I'm so proud. You know, that's one of my favorite things with non-judgmental curiosity. Yes, correct. Yes.
Ms. Ash says, from what I've learned from you all in this session, I feel as though one of your greatest strengths is great communication. I think your communication is a superpower in a relationship. Yeah, I appreciate it. I definitely think it is. She cooking. Ash is cooking. We got to have her back
in the kitchen. Woo.
Yeah, she's in the kitchen cooking. Angel says y'all balance each other out. We do. Yeah. We really do.
Yin yang. Yep. I would say that. Yin yang.
Good evening, Miss Therapist and Mr. Coach Hughes. What's happening? Aggravated Man says communication. Yep. Yeah, we have that. Listen, communication is finding the right groove for communication so it can be received and sent and understood. And if it's not understood, having the right groove of energy to say, I don't understand. Can we talk about this further without it getting angry, mad, or blown up is so very important to have.
Yeah.
And that's you as a person, because you'll know, again, going back, once you love yourself, you get in tune with yourself, you know what you like, what you don't like, you know how you'll be, and you know your strengths and your weaknesses, you'll go ahead and have these kinds of instances where you can tell right off bat that I'm going to be able to communicate with this person. Let me see if this goes further. Or I'm not going to be able to communicate with this person like this because this is just surface level stuff we're talking about, and it's just not going, pretty well. So this person has trouble communicating, and then you learn to separate yourself from that and keep going to the next one. So,
yeah, a lot of people are like, I'm not going to give everybody me on the first, the second, the third, the fifth date. It's going
Right.
to take some time. And I always say, you need to show up you regardless.
Every
Show up
time.
as you every
Show up
time.
as you. Don't show up as your representative. Don't show up as half as you. Just show up as you. Don't dip your toe in the pool. Go ahead and jump in the pool and see what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
Yep.
dip your toe in the pool. Look, Brandon says, y'all have great hair.
That's why I love me.
Brandon aggravated man and Miss Ash today, they cooking. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. So next question. This one might be a little bit I keep pulling that up, my bad. What would be a deal breaker for our relationship? Something you couldn't forgive. Okay, this is your go right here. This is your go.
Actually, is it? Okay, I guess it is. I think a deal breaker for me is violence. Like if there was violence in our relationship, I think that I would have to leave. I would have to leave. I would definitely want to give you grace and understanding, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we could stay together.
Right. Okay. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh man.
But I'm saying that was tough for me to say because I'm like, I love you, however come. But anyway.
Yeah. If you cheated on me with midgets, I don't know. I would take that so personal. No, a deal breaker. I don't know. I mean, I can't say if you kill somebody because I'll be like, well, did they deserve it? I don't know. I don't know what a solid deal breaker is. I've been so lost in the feng shui. I haven't really know. Now, I'd feel if we stopped the feng shui and there was no way of getting that back.
Yeah.
Like if you just stopped the this energy that we have going back and forth and the talking and stuff like that, and you turn into somebody different, then yeah, that would be a deal breaker for me because now it's uncomfortable. It's I feel like it's an attack. It's not needed, and then there's no going back from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I get that.
If we, because we have this good back and forth, we have this good chemistry, we have all this good stuff. And if one day you're like, go fuck yourself, and then that's it, and there's no way to getting it back, then I'm like, I can't. I think that'd be a deal breaker for me.
I think we're thinking about these things in a bubble, right?
Yeah.
This thing drops out of the sky and you just happen to be whatever, or I happen to be whatever. Typically, and this is in real life situations, there's a build up to things, right? A series of things happen to lead a person to get there. And I think if we go back to the question that we just talked about communication, that it's harder for you to get to that place where you're like, I'm done with this person in the deal breaker, and that thing just falls from the sky that they do. It is, help me understand what's going on. How can we mend it? What can we do to not get to that point? That's always navigating the road in a way that doesn't cause us to break down on the side of the street, So.
Right. I mean, there's some real deal breakers out there. Like you can't be trying to kill our kids or, normal stuff.
Yeah.
But people we tend to go beyond surface level. And that's why I said, for me, it would have been the communication. But Lamont has a lot of them. Betrayal. Plotted against me. Damaging my stuff. Breaking my pockets. Causing me to miss my career. He went in. There's a lot of them.
Right. Anything else? Anything else, sir?
Yeah, is there anything? Well, see, he'll keep going. Don't ask him anything
No,
else.
no,
He'll
no,
keep
no,
going.
no, no. Okay.
He'll keep going. But
Okay.
no, those are some, everybody has deal breakers that they have.
Yeah.
Some people it's, causing them financial drain. Some people it's, you're not hustling, you're not bringing nothing to the table, you're making things harder. Some people it's cheating. Some people it's, just, it's a lot of weird and non-weird deal breakers out there. But as far as me and you is concerned, I think for me, that's what it would be.
The midgets.
The midgets. Yeah. Cheating on me with half a man. What's wrong with you, girl?
You know what? Move on, sir. Move on.
Yeah. I had to think about it though. Deal breakers. That's terrible. That is terrible. I'm not focused. All right. In what areas do you think our personalities complement each other? I.e., one is too reckless and the other is too cautious, and it balances out to a happy medium. Is it my turn?
Yes.
It's my turn?
You don't like this question.
No, I like the question. I ain't mad. Are you red pill now, sir? Oh yeah, nobody. I think he's been red pill. I think brother man been red pill. He might be red pill. You know what I'm saying? If she cheated with me, it would be low down. Yeah, don't cheat with low.
You know what? Y'all need to stop. Really, come on now.
That's my boy. So okay. So in what areas do I think our personalities complement each other? Yeah, like the example. I don't say I'm reckless, but I'm like, okay, let's go. You say I'm reckless? I ain't reckless.
You sometimes you don't have limits. Like I have limits, and I've said this a lot. And I think this is and I really don't pay a lot of attention to astrology sometimes, but boy, you are a Gemini. I'm gonna say it. You are a Gemini. You too, Brandon. But yeah, the sometimes and y'all will I'm like, okay, I will say this, in certain situations it has been amazing. Like I will say, when we met each other, like my business was doing good, and then you came in and we integrated some things, and it went from good to great. And that was because you were like, okay, let's do you need to take a calculated risk here. And I was like,
how much money
and yeah,
there was a lot of money.
Yeah, and there was, not only that, then Turo, like it was just like, let's go. And so the calculated risk, and sometimes it's like, okay, let's adjust. We did this, let's adjust. Let's So sometimes you are my yin. It is yin and yang with us, because sometimes I'm different. Like this.
Yeah, you're
like, no, let's go.
You're calculated. You're like, all right, let's take a look at this. Let's write this out. Let's do this. And I'm like, come on, motherfucker, we gotta go. Let's go right now. If you do it right now, I sound like a white car salesman. If you do it right now, I'll sign up to the
yes.
I'm in. And you just like, you know what? Just do it and come back and let me know how it goes.
And even when like I'm presenting an idea, like, babe, I'm thinking about this idea. You're like, no, let's do it right now. Let's go. Come on. Yeah. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, like the podcast. Somebody had the idea. Yeah, somebody had the idea, and then I was like, all right then. But then when the came time to get the equipment, he was like, and I'm like, nigga, let's go. Like, what you waiting on? Let's get this shit going. You said you want to do a goddamn podcast. We're gonna do a podcast. Goddamn, let's go.
Yeah, that was literally.
That's literally what happened. Yeah. Because sometimes I'm like, some of the stuff I'm like, but see, you're like that too. And sometimes I can be reserved, because there's sometimes where you're like, you just got to go. You just got to do what you got to do and jump in. You just got to go for it. And I'm like,
but usually I've thought about it. I've flipped it around in my head like a billion times.
Yeah.
I'm a planner.
Yeah, you're a planner. I don't flick it around that many times. I'm like, all right, I got enough to be dangerous. Let's go.
Here, I'm done.
Front and back. Cliff notes in this motherfucker. Front and back.
Right.
All right, I got it. Let's go. As says, Adrian says, well, from what I can see, she is classy, sophisticated, smart, kind. That's because she's an AKA. You are funny, fun, and tell it like it is, and will always have a good time. And also, you both are good parents. That is spot on. That is spot on. We both have really good parents. Yeah, I mean, she's funny too. She's definitely funny too. She definitely laughs at all of my dumb and real jokes, so that works out. That works out.
The dad jokes.
Some of the jokes. The dad jokes is definitely jokes she doesn't laugh at. He said, wait a damn minute. What does my Gemini-ness have to do with this?
Brandon.
That damn Brandon.
You cool. You know that. You know I got much love for you, but you are a Gemini. Love you much.
Yeah. You know
you know your Gemini-ness, but I'm gonna leave it right.
On his drizzle moment, his season right now. He is on his drizzle.
Do it, Brandon. Do it.
Ash says it's beautiful how well you both compliment each other. I appreciate that, fam. I appreciate that. It is definitely a beautiful find. I think I have a beautiful find, and I found something amazing. And I'm not just saying that because she is my wife. I'm saying that because this wasn't easy. This was not. As a matter of fact, a lot of people would believe that we have been married for years.
No.
March 9th of this year is when we got married. March 9th of this year is when we got married. And a lot of people think, well, you guys had to be dating for years. No. 2 years? A year and a half?
A year and a half.
And then we got married. Yeah. Year and a half. But that year and a half was battle tested.
Ooh, Jesus.
I would say. I mean, it was battle tested. Tested. And it turned out pretty good. Mom says, you are each other's puzzle piece and fit together. That's right. Our dad loved puzzles. That's why he said that.
Aww.
Our dad loves puzzles. That's why he said that. So, yeah, puzzles. You just put puzzles together and frame them. All right. What do you think is the most challenging aspect of marriage or being in a relationship? God damn. Shit. Okay. Is this your turn, right? This your turn.
Oh, I know I went first, but I can go. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Let that work.
I mean, when you have a disagreement, you still got to deal with that person. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, like it's not like you could just leave or anything. Well, people do, but you still have to figure out a way to like get to a point where things are okay with y'all. Like we don't always agree. We do not always disagree. We have to agree to disagree sometimes. And so I think the other thing that and getting to a point where you can have the difficult conversations at a level where it is respectful and meaningful, like really navigating conflict resolution. Because if one person's up here, then both people are going to be up here arguing with each other. That's not helpful. Yeah. And so really like talking. It might not feel good, but that's what it is.
I think for us, from my point of view, the most difficult part of marriage, or the challenging part, is in conflict and in good or bad times, making sure that you see it from everybody's perspective.
Yeah.
I think that's the hard part, because we want to see it from our own perspective just so we can prove our point of what we're trying to say. And a lot of that is a fear of not being heard, not being understood, not being seen, or whatever the case may be. But when you're having conflict with that person, and if you can't come to an agreement to where you feel like you're being heard, you're being seen, you're being understood, right? Then that's when you get in your own head and you're like, I got to take it up here just so I can prove my point.
Right.
Or I have to go down here because I want to be petty. I think it's challenging because in marriage, like you said, you still got to see that motherfucker. You got to get in bed with that motherfucker. You want to kick her out the goddamn bed. You just like, I don't even love talking all that shit. Bloop, out the bed, tuck and roll, grandma, anything, you know. You just, but it's difficult because you don't want to go to bed mad. You wake up angry, stuff's not resolved, and or you know, even if it's not an angry confrontation or an angry conflict, it's a conflict that you guys just have two different sides of the coin that you guys are sitting on, right? And now you have to agree to disagree and then still find a compromise to go on from there. So it's challenging to because you want to still, some people still act like they're dating when they're married as far as the dating process and not showing the growth now that you are married, that you're in the marriage process instead of the dating process. Yeah. So it makes it difficult. It really does. It really does. Yeah. It's very challenging. Very challenging. Somebody said, compromise. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Compromising for me is not that hard with you. It's not. It's the when we agree to disagree, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Because there is no compromise. Because I don't think people talk about that. Sometimes there is no compromise.
Right.
There's no middle ground in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Dealing with conflict when the other person can never see when they're wrong and not take accountability for their actions. Listen, Ash, you can't be cooking like this on the goddamn show now. This is my goddamn show.
She on the grill.
She cooking, goddamn it. She on fire. That's true. Yeah. And then when we get to that point and we know that these people are not taking accountability or they're not seeing their actions, it does aggravate you to the point where you just like, whatever. I think what works with us is what we do with each other. We like to come back to it when we finally realize what happened. Like when we understand the other person's point of view, I'm good about doing this. I'll come back and I'll be like, oh, that's what you meant when you said X, Y, and Z. And it takes time to go separate and think about what the person said so you can try to understand it from their perspective, even if it doesn't make sense to you. But when you do catch it, if you catch it, what me and my wife do is we like to come back to each other and say, oh, that's what you meant. Now I understand what you're saying when you said X, Y, and Z. And then it doesn't mean we agree. We just understand that person's position at that point in time.
And the important part in that is you can't weaponize that now.
Right.
You can't use that like, see, I know, see, I was talking to
That bass out your voice, motherfucker. Take that bass out.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for I appreciate you seeing my perspective. Doesn't mean you agree with it, but you at least see it. You understand where I'm coming from. And so, it is definitely managing the conflict management. It is managing the conflict. The conflict. Whew.
Yeah. And understanding that you got to see it not only from your perspective, but from the other person's perspective and then challenge it.
Yep.
Right? What questions should partners ask each other before getting married? Oh my God. Oh my God.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think about this one? What questions should you ask?
What questions the audience, what questions should you ask partners or each other before you get married? Or before you start dating, in that fact? What questions should you ask each other? I want to hear from the audience. I want to see what they say. Is it my turn? It's my turn, right?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I lost count.
I lost count too.
If there are children involved, I think your parenting style is one, especially before you get married and you're blending a family.
Oh yeah.
You have
parenting
to
style,
really
definitely.
have that kind of conversation about how everybody is coming together. I feel very fortunate that, when we chose to do this, everybody was on board, right? But
Yeah,
there was some people, I know, friends, family members, where they joined families. It was not cute.
not
Not at
cute
all.
at all.
Nope.
Not cute at all. Right. I think for me, not only parenting style, but um, what goals do you have for being in a relationship? Like,
Yeah.
what's your end goal? Because some people want to be in a relationship and they have nothing else outside of that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it. Relationship. Yay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yay,
Okay.
that's it. I'm good. Agreeing to disagree is so hard with someone you live with. Work, okay, but at home, we want clear, defined direction of who and which direction we're going. Got to be a leader to lead. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Respect for each other's boundaries. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, that is true. That is
Yep.
true. Okay. What does accepting accountability mean to you? Okay, that's a good question to ask before getting married and or dating. Definitely. Definitely.
That's a great one.
Have you ever been in a faithful relationship? Oh, they gonna lie, sis.
Ooh, that's a great one.
That's a good one. That is a solid one, but they gonna
I,
lie.
I
They gonna
wouldn't
lie.
say it that way. I would say something like, has there ever been, leave it open first and then go deeper. Like, have you ever been in a relationship where there was infidelity? And then
Right,
say, on whose part?
right,
So you're
right,
leading
right.
in because you get the answer first. But I agree with Javon. At first, if you just ask that on the surface, no, no.
I've always been faithful. She cheated
I'm
on me.
always faithful. I never cheat, never.
Never
So
cheat. Yeah. What does love in its full expression mean to you? Okay.
see, Aaron's starting to cook over there too. Okay,
Okay. Look at it. She got another one. What does cheating mean to you? Okay.
Sarah.
All right.
Ooh. I would like
What's
to
your
go back
credit
to
score?
that one.
Body count, STD. How many kids, baby mamas do you have? Do
Oh
you want more
God.
kids? I'm not going to tell you my credit score. I'm sorry. Because my credit score should not determine a lot of things. But what I will tell you is everything else outside of that. I'll tell you everything else, but I ain't tell you my credit score. Because if I tell you my credit score and then you like me just based on my credit score and everything else is shit, that means there's something wrong with you. So I'm finna tell you my credit score. I ain't worried about your credit score right now. You know, people have mistakes and make mistakes and stuff like that. I get it, but I can be able to tell if you got crappy credit or you don't manage money well. If we go to a Denny's and you can't even split the check, that I'm not gonna do that with you. I ain't gonna do that.
Oh Lord Jesus. I see that one touched your spirit.
It touched my spirit. Because
Okay.
I mean, some stuff you can ask, some stuff is like, come on, are you really asking me that right now? Like STDs, body counts, kids, baby mamas, I get that.
So I'm
I
gonna
get
ask
that.
this question. Like, is body count really important? I'm
For
just
some
wondering.
people, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
See, that one touched your soul. That's because we had the
That
same
question
situation.
always bothers me because
Yeah,
what does that
yeah,
mean? Like, what
yeah.
what is it showing you?
All right. Sierra
Ooh,
says, when you get angry, how do you act? They gonna lie, sis. That's another one. They gonna lie. They gonna lie.
maybe more about like, how do you express your emotions?
Right,
What's your
right,
range
right,
of emotions?
right.
Like, talk about a range, and then like what? Then you get to, what does anger look like? What does happy look like?
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Pamela says, past history questions, background, how you were raised. That is true. That is true.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
true. That's pretty good. I think they're gonna lie on that one too, but they're gonna lie. Do
I
you
think you
brush your
have to
teeth
be
before bed?
specific.
Is a very important question. This nigga right here.
You know what? I ain't mad at you, Brandon.
That
That's
is
your
true.
question.
Hygiene is a good
That's
question.
your question. You
Hygiene is
asked.
a good question.
It is, but that ain't the
That's,
only hygiene question. That
yeah.
I need to know if you shower every day.
Yeah. Do you take a bath? Do you wash your ass?
But that's basic, and I mean,
Yeah.
do your feet
Some
stink?
people basic is just not. Come on now. Yeah. Some people basic is not. Do you have pending judgments? God damn. That's like asking for a credit score.
Good, Sierra. Good job. Good
Okay.
job.
Okay. Are you cheap? They're gonna lie. They're gonna
Yes,
lie on
that's
that
a
one.
great question.
Great
Or
question, but they're gonna
are
lie.
you frugal? Or what are your spending habits? Because
Right.
again, right, what are your spending habits? Like what? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. LOL. I've heard men asking women about credit scores because to determine if she's good with money. Nah, them niggas asking credit scores trying to see if they can take advantage of somebody. That's all.
Can
Ain't no
I
man
get you
worried
to
about your credit
co-sign?
score. Yeah, they try to see if you can co-sign on some shit. Ain't no real man worried about your credit score. That's why they choose the women that work at McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King, because they ain't worried about your credit score. They not. How well do you manage money? See, that's Angela. That's what it is. Not are you cheap? How well do you manage money?
I like that.
Right. But then
And that's
Angel comes back
Ash.
with this. Angel comes back with this. Is this your real name? If you got the ass that sis, God damn. If you got an ass, is this your real name?
Never mind. I'm not going there. I'm gonna say there was someone that we were in. I'm gonna say that we were engaging with in therapeutic process. I'm gonna put it there, where the person was like, "This ain't even your legal name. This is just a name that people call you, that you made people call you."
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. People will sleep together before telling you how they voting, their debt, and health issues. Yeah. I mean, if that's important, and nowadays how you voted is important for a relationship because a lot of people don't like and really be gang banging in politics now. So how you vote is definitely a thing now to ask people because they think that it leads to your state of mind.
Yep.
Have you ever been arrested? Oh my God. Are you the police? Is you the police? Is your police? My man said, is your car clean? That tells a lot.
Oh, Jesus.
If he or she has a dirty car, you can best believe that house is dirty. And if that house dirty, you can best believe them genitals is dirty. That's what my grandma used to say.
Sir? I'm gonna need for
I'm
you.
just telling you.
Keep going.
I'm just telling you. Hughes Jr. go confirm that for me. Do you split the check and clean up there? Well. Oh, do you split the cheeks? Oh, and clean up the do you wash your ass?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just say, do you wash your ass? Do you wash your ass? What is your relationship with your mom and dad, siblings, and your family? That's pretty good question. That's pretty good. That's something you should definitely ask.
Good job, Pamela.
How much debt do you have? That's a pretty good question.
Yep.
That's definitely pretty good. Definitely pretty good. On dating apps, I've seen the wrong name. I get it.
Oh yeah, that's fake.
Yeah.
Those names
they're gonna lie on there. They're gonna lie on there. Right. Definitely. I said that because some people will tell you something, but then you go to research them, a whole lot of information comes up about them and the real names, etc. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Are you a dog or a cat person? That is a definite question now, like that political question. Because a lot of people have broken up relationships because of dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
She gonna take the dog. She don't even like dogs.
Fur babies.
Fur babies.
I miss my fur baby. Hey, Angel.
She out there eating a bone. How important is it to talk about sex and preferences before marriage? Shit, it's very important.
What y'all think?
Very important. Look, and just when we asked this question, look, is it appropriate to ask if he's circumcised? Yes.
Yes, it is.
It is very important. It's appropriate to ask that question. Okay? Because if you don't like uncircumcised, that ain't the man. You don't want to get surprised at the end of the day. You like everything about him, and then it's time to do the doing, and then, uncircumcised. Gotta go. Okay? You gotta go for what you like. How important is it to talk about sex and preferences before marriage? I think we had that conversation, but not right off.
It was funny because we really didn't talk about sex
Yeah.
at all. We talked about everything but sex. Like, and we talked, so for those of you who don't know, we probably talked on the phone like day in and day out for like
Yeah.
five
For
days
hours.
straight.
Yeah. For
5 days
hours.
straight, and we didn't talk about sex. We talk about everything else. And so, but when we did have the conversation, Lamont, it's killing me. When we did have the conversation, it was an important conversation. Like it was
Yeah.
some real stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I literally asked her, "Do you give head?" And like she doing right now, she had that face. And she was like, "Why is that important?" I was like, "Because I done met women that still don't give head in 2022. They're outdated. They're
Yeah.
outdated."
Listen, I'm wondering if my mama is called.
I don't know if she on here, but we let it out today. She gonna be all right.
We
She
did.
87
That's
years old. She be all right.
Hey family, how y'all doing?
You know what
Okay.
your daughter doing. You know what your daughter. Anyway, Ash says, "How many jobs have you had in the last year because I'm looking for stability?" You know what? That's cool. But the job, how many jobs they have shouldn't determine stability. Are they progressing in the career? Is it a job versus a career, which is what you should be looking at? Like, I would say, are you in your career or do you just work a job? Because that's different.
Because
That's
lots of
different.
people hop and hop. Yeah.
Yeah,
On
people
top.
hop in jobs and careers, but if the hopping justifies what they're trying to do in their career, then that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. She'll follows up by saying, "Talking about sex and preferences is a must. Very important." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to talk about sex. We talk again, when we talked about sex, it was like days down the line. It
But
was
we
days
talked
down.
about it before we met. We talked about it before.
Yes. Yes.
That was really important to talk about it
Yeah.
before we met. Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
Because
you
I
might
think
look.
that was like, are we going to meet each other? If we are, we need to have this conversation.
Oh yeah, look, she says, "I'm listening, then calm it down. Good show." That's Mama
Hi,
Newsom. That's
mommy.
April's mom.
Hi.
I'm sorry, Mom. We ain't calming it down today. You just gonna have to get it today. This is that type of show today, Mom. I'm sorry. This is that type of show. Important stuff has to be talked about. We in the hot seat. We're gonna let it out. It's the North Dallas Hughes' fault that we're in this situation right now.
Yes,
Shout
it
out to
is.
the North Dallas Hughes. But yeah, this is what it is today. What are your religious beliefs? That is
Yeah,
important too.
that's very
That is
important.
because that has to do with how you view sex for some people, how you
Oh,
view
yeah.
intimacy for some people, and how you view relationships for some people. So yeah, that's
I have some
important.
folks who feel like sex is, as long as you are not being penetrated vaginally, you are not having sex.
Right. Yeah.
So they are
Yeah.
doing everything else and they're unmarried. So I would say understanding what that person's definition of sex actually is.
Right.
And that came
Right.
from a religious kind of thought process. So that's why I threw that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think talking about sex is definitely important because you want to be sexually compatible with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I didn't want to love all this stuff about you, and then we were not sexually compatible.
Yeah, that would have been hard.
So
That would have been very
yeah,
hard.
that would have been such a letdown. Like
Yeah.
disappointing,
Very.
emotional damage,
Yeah.
And so when we had the conversation, was it weird for you to have the conversation or approach that
No,
conversation
it,
at that
it
time?
wasn't weird. It
Yeah,
wasn't
it was.
weird.
Yeah,
It was just, again, it was really open and honest, and it flowed, and we talked about like things we liked, things we didn't like, things that we're not going to talk about right now, but
right.
we were honest about what we wanted in um a sexual relationship as well as what intimacy was. So we
Yeah,
talked a lot
yeah,
about not just sex but intimacy and what that looks like. I think we had the conversation about religion as well as sex and what that means. And so yeah. for us. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of conversation about sex, but it
Yeah.
wasn't until later. So, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that wasn't the thing that led us in our conversation with each other.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. She said, I want compatibility in every area, so sex should be the topic that is discussed. That is true.
Yep.
That is
Yep.
true.
You do.
That is true. Do you mind talking about it up front, like in the first couple of days, or do you prefer waiting later to talk about it? Or how you want that conversation to flow and go? Ash, let me know that in the comments. Too much sex talk is a turnoff. Makes me question his objectives.
Agreed. And that's the difference. Like if they can't hold a conversation about other things that matter, other pressing topics that you have on your mind, yeah. But if they're like,
Yeah,
oh, we about to get this good, and okay,
yeah,
no.
yeah. If they
Like
lead with,
it's not just that. It's like all the things. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I get that.
if they're leading with sex and they can't have, real conversations and stuff like that, then yeah, that's basically a bad thing. And then if they keep talking about it before they get it, then that's definitely a bad thing. It should be organic. Should be organic.
Yep.
Outside the bedroom, what is it that I do that turns you on? Oh, okay. Well, he's gonna ask this question, huh? Outside the bedroom. Okay.
I can answer.
You can answer. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me see what Miss Ash says. I would like to get to know them a little bit, and if the relationship becomes more serious, then I definitely want to have that conversation. Okay, so you like it at the end. Okay, that's cool. Then that's pretty much normal, right? Or in good conversations with good back and forth banter about other topics and everything else, that's pretty much normal. That's a pretty much good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and answer, Miss Hughes. What is it that I do outside the bedroom? Because there's so much that I do inside, like sleep, fall asleep on you, drool on the pillow, all kinds of stuff. Wake you up in the middle of the night and then go right back to sleep. So I do a lot of good stuff in the bedroom. What is it that I do outside the bedroom that just turns you on, that gets it for you?
Your smile.
Oh, girl, I stole these teeth. These ain't even my teeth. These ain't even my teeth. I stole these teeth.
You're so stupid. You know, that little dimple that you have is so cute. And it's so funny because sometimes, like, you know it. Like, you have that, like, yeah, I'm so cute and I'm smiling with my dimple. I don't like it when you're doing it then. I don't like it when you're doing it then. It's like,
why? Why you don't like
because
it?
I know you're trying to manipulate it then.
I'm trying to
It's just
manipulate
like
the
when you just
situation.
smile and you catch me looking at you, you're like, what? And then
Yeah.
you'll just be smiling. Not the whole, not that one. No, not the
Yeah.
fake. I'm trying to manipulate, but just your
Yeah.
smile.
You should
I
just
know
give me
that's
the cookies.
corny, but that's it.
That's not corny. You should just give me the cookies. I wouldn't have to try to use my
You know
smile.
what, sir? Move on.
Just give
So
me the I want my chocolate chip cookies. I want my Oreo cookies. You should just give it to me. I wouldn't have to try to manipulate the situation with a smile. That's what I'm saying.
what do I do?
It's what you wear. It's what you wear. You got a shape on you like you've been just Lord have mercy. And so what you wear, son, like what you got on now, you look so beautiful. Hey, you remember that time we was at PF Chang's and we were going out the garage and the dude, I'm behind you, and the dude looked at you and then right when you put on, he's like, oh, she looked like that African Amazon woman. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. But so yeah, it's what you wear. It's how you look. It's your presentation. It's your you got them curves, and I don't like having no breaks. So
Got it.
you always, and you don't floss a lot of AKA ism, but when you do, you make it look so good that it's just I can't help but like it. So I definitely do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Definitely do appreciate that.
Thank you.
So yeah. So you got to tell the story about we're in the car and I ask you, or you ask me, what is it that I do that irks your nerve? Right? Gotta tell that story.
All right. So, no, I told the last story. You have to tell this one.
All right, hold on. We'll do this one. What is the best, worst advice someone has given you about relationships or marriage? That's easy. It's cheaper to keep her.
Or happy life, happy wife.
Yeah, that's
Not
definitely. Yeah, that's definitely retarded.
Yeah, because it's not just about me; it's about us.
Right.
Or the other one, hush your mouth money. I told you about that, right?
Yeah. Brandon says, "Get a room."
Shut up. We got one. No,
because of my love languages is acts of service. If a man is helping with something at home, like helping with the kids or cleaning the kitchen, that does something for me.
That is very sexy too. Very sexy.
Right. I've gotten in trouble that way. I was cleaning up and then I got snatched up. I didn't know what happened.
Yes, that's very, very sexy.
I was cleaning up, then I got snatched up. I didn't know what happened. Better to have a piece of man than not have one at all.
Oh Lord, I hate that one. Thank you.
That's not some good advice. That's not some good advice. It's cheaper to keep her was my advice that I got. And I'm like, it's not. He was like, divorce costs. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's terrible.
I'll pay that.
Yeah, I'll pay that.
So go ahead and tell the story.
So let me tell this story. Okay. And this story goes to how we have our conversations, right? So we're in the car. I don't know where we're going to get something to eat or some shit. And she goes, "What is it that I do that irks your nerves?" Or that wasn't it. It was something like to that question.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's nothing that you do that bothers me. It's something that you do that irks my nerves. And she goes, "What is it?" And I go, "You aggressively swish water in your mouth. Like we're in the bathroom and either you're brushing your teeth or you only do this when you're in the shower. And she'll get in the shower and she'll just take water and she'll just start swishing it around real aggressively." And I'm like, what is you trying to do? It sounds like white water rafting in your mouth with this water. What is you doing? What is you trying to accomplish? And I never knew what she was trying to accomplish. She just aggressively in the shower, just in her own world, swishing water around. And I'm like, nigga, can you? And what was the explanation you gave me and why you do that?
I mean, it has to do the same thing with you. Like you brush your teeth in the shower.
I do brush my teeth in the shower. But that's not what you said was aggravating, though.
That's what it was. It has the same effect. Like you're getting the bacteria and things out of your mouth. So you put the water in your mouth. And then I like to irritate you. So now that I know it irritates you, I do.
Okay, all right. It don't get me now because I know. Like one time you was doing it, and I came with the bathroom. I was like, "Are you fucking with me? Like, are you serious right now?" I was like, "Are you serious right now?" Like, and then one time I was about to come in the bathroom. As soon as I came in the bathroom, you was around the corner, like, "Gotcha, bitch!" Like,
because it's just so like I was like, "Why does that bother you?" But you brush your teeth in the shower.
Like, I brush my teeth in the shower, but I don't swish water around aggressively like I'm trying to take out a tooth in the shower with this water.
Whatever. But anyway, so
my thing was not as bad as what she's about to say because I know I do this.
Oh my gosh. So mine for him. Oh my gosh. So this happened. This has always happened from day one. This has always happened. So in the middle of the night, dead sleep. I'm asleep. He's asleep. Everybody's asleep. Bang, bang. I'm like, yes, baby. What's wrong? I just want. I'm like, wait a minute. What are you? And he will not even remember it. Not even. He'll be having a full-on conversation. Babe, I just had a dream and I back to sleep and I'm wide awake now at 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, I'm gonna need for you to stop doing that. That's not
She
funny.
was. She
That's
woke
not
me up one time. Yeah, she woke me up one time. I was like, "Do you know you are doing this shit?" And I was like, "Doing what?" She was like, "You keep waking me up, talking to me about stuff that don't complete the conversation."
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Sarah says, "I would be angry, sweating from that." Listen,
I am. I am.
she gets at me. She gets at me. She counts. She counts how many times I do it a night. She'll tell
Yeah.
you woke up about 3 times, woke my ass up there last night. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Baby, what's wrong?" I'd be out stretching, feeling good because I got some good sleep. She looking dead in the motherfucker. I'm like, "What's wrong, babe?" "I ain't getting no sleep because y'all had woke me up last night." I was like, "Oh, my bad. What did I talk about?"
The things that make you want to push your spouse out of the bed.
She was like, "I'm gonna get your ass back when I switch this water around in my mouth." In a
That's why I
few
do it.
minutes,
See?
nigga. In
See?
a few minutes.
Yep.
So,
There you go.
thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a wonderful show. We wanted you guys to get to know us a little bit better, get to know our love story a little bit better, and why we do what we do when we do it, which is helping couples, Black couples, and couples in general. Because now we have some Latino couples that we took.
Hey.
And so,
just couples in general. We just want to
just couples in general get back to loving themselves and loving each other. And if they're not couples and they want to become couples, we help them try to find their inner self so they can find each other. So this is what we do. This is our passion, and this is actually it turned into my passion. I just got into this not too long ago, thanks to that lovely lady on the screen. But this is definitely something that now we do. This is our business. And if you know anybody that needs professional help, needs counseling, that is a couple and or individual counseling, we offer that at our website, theobsidianluxgroup.com. Yes, we help singles too. Look at she asked me.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah,
yes, we help people find their way.
Yeah, it's a big call. It's really not just couples. We help people. Our goal is to get people to get to a point where they can be coupled with somebody. So it does start with single people. We do have a lot of single clients that are in our practice. And so if you go to the obsidianluxgroup.com, you can see all of our information. We have some free ebooks, free information that we give out. If you don't know how to spell it, just click the YouTube link or go onto our YouTube profile and you can see how to spell theobsidianluxgroup.com. And then once you're on there, you can go to my wife's page by clicking on her Establish Her page, and that'll take you to all the women-centered information, how to book her for speeches and how to get in touch with her for the private women's group that she has on Tuesdays, and a lot of free information. If you're looking from the man's perspective or you want the male's perspective, you click on my page from the obsidianluxgroup.com website. You click on my icon, which is Empower Him. And there's a lot of free information because it's centered around men. And there's free information that you can download and there's stuff like that. And so also you can follow us here online on live because we do this every Sunday, if possible, whether we're together or not, as you can see. And once we do these shows, we post them on live and we do snippets and things like that. But it's all for the crowd participation. So thank you guys for showing up. Wife has a show on Tuesdays called what, baby?
Finding Queendom. And those of you who are here, who have been on the show, thank you so much. I haven't been posting them as much because we have been really in a deep series about finding ourselves and really talking about our relationships with our mothers and the legacy that has been passed down, good, bad, or indifferent. So if you're interested, please, please, please go to either Establish Her First .com, or you can just go to the Obsidian Lux Group page and click on Establish Her, as Jamon said. Also, Jamon has a show on Friday nights called Smoke, Drink, Vibe.
Do I?
Do you? Yes,
do
sir.
I?
You do. So
Smoke
yeah,
Break Vibe is for the fellas, but we do have ladies that come in all the time because we like the dialogue and we like to understand. And basically, is that. I have a cigar, I have a drink. We go over topics. Last week's topic was date your type and marry your type, not your prototype. And it was a very strong message in that.
it was really good too.
Thank you. It was a very strong message where a lot of people have dated their prototype. You know, that person that they wanted you to marry, that person that looks good on paper, and they have not dated your type. They have not married your type. You know what I'm saying? So go back and look at that on our YouTube channel. Definitely check that out. All of our stuff you can download and share, and that's it. That's our show.
I actually have one announcement. So we're looking for 7 to 10 couples who are willing to love out loud. If you would like more information about that, go to the Obsidian Lux Group page and send us your contact information. It'll pop up and say, do you want to be added to our list? And you can leave us a little note that says, I want to love out loud. And we'll get in contact with you about what that means. So yeah.
Love Out Loud is definitely a project that is in the works. It's one of our new babies that we're developing, and it's very, very good because we're going to be bringing it to TV. You heard it right, TV, right? Not Tubi, but TV. So ain't no wrong with Tubi. I would put on Tubi. But it's one of our projects that we're developing, and we need about 10 couples to participate. So hit us up on that website, www.theobsidianluxgroup.com, and let us know that you're a couple and you want to love out loud and you want more information about that.
Okay.
Did you guys have a good time? Do you guys know more about us? You guys feel like you guys are more connected to your host of this show? I feel like I'm more connected to you guys.
Yay.
More connected to my wife.
I would like to go on a date tomorrow after you pick me up from the airport.
Girl, where you want to go?
It'll be a surprise.
What? Angel, like, you ain't taking her out nowhere, goddammit. Angel, I gotta take her out. You're not the only girl in this house. She's like, no, you can take her out. All right, we had a good time. We love you guys. Tune in next time. Peace.